Make it count. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 173 of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and how many times have you stopped and thought, how am I living my life? Am I taking the right choices? Am I following the path that I want to follow? And overall, am I scared of what's next, or am I happy with what I did? I'm here to discuss this a bit with you today and maybe, let's say, remind you of a few things that while we are busy with our day-to-day lives, we often forget. Before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, leaving a like and a subscribe really help. They're just one click, but they really make the difference. Thank you very much. So, the reason behind today's topic, I got inspired by a super famous TV show, specifically the main character of that show, Dr. House. I started this series with my girlfriend. We both kind of knew about it, but never watched it through. And given it that it's a pretty lengthy series that... we just needed something to just relax and watch on the couch, like at the end of the day. And in the pilot episode, I won't spoiler it, even though it's been more than 10 years since it was aired. But there is this phrase that caught my attention and made me want to do an episode about it, because I think it can be interpreted in a few ways and it's worth discussing. And that phrase was... the only way that you can live is with dignity. You have that choice. You don't have a choice to die with dignity. And it got me thinking a bit, because in this case, it was about a person deciding how to battle a certain disease. And she was offered the choice of... trying to fight the disease and, let's say, follow an experimental cure, or to just, but which could have led to serious consequences and, compromised her life, or, let's say, just accept how she was and the critical condition in which she was in, even though she was conscious, and just, end it like that. And, the whole point was it to, she was underlying the fact that, she just wanted to die with dignity. And he replied that is not something that is possible. And I have to say, I kind of agree with Dr. House here, because it is after, I don't have the longest experience on this earth, but it's quite a bit to be able to assert that one of the few things that I'm truly proud of and that I believe, give me a chance to live in a relaxed and overall happy way, is that I try to do that. I try to live every day with dignity and mostly be okay with myself. I often think that within this space, of the Shower Podcast, when I'm talking to you, and for those of you who are listening, it's never about others. It's never about understanding how to treat others. It's never about what others do to you, because I do believe that lots of these things come from the way that you treat yourself, the way that you see yourself, the way that you, let's say, handle yourself. And there is kind of a cascade effect. Of course, there are lots of situations in which the person might be very kind, very supportive of others and not so much for themselves. But I challenge you to say that these people are really, living their life properly, because, even if the people around them are happy, it doesn't really make sense if you're not on that path. So today's episode wants to be a bit of a reminder of the fact that the only choice that you really have amongst the many that we have mentioned and that you think you might have is, at the bottom of it, is what are you doing with your life, your moments, your time? Are you actually respecting yourself? And are you giving yourself the dignity required, to go forward in a way that you can look back and be supportive about. I'm trying not to use the word happiness, and even though I have a few episodes where we discuss that, because I generally believe that it is very subjective and it depends on so many factors that it's difficult to give a unitary definition, of what happiness is. But I think it's it's much more easier to define dignity. And the simplest term and the simplest definition that I can think of, which again, I try to use and follow for myself, is that to me, living with dignity starts from respecting yourself. We tend to be overly critic about ourselves. We tend to be overly pressuring about the things that we do, how we do it, when we do it, how good we are compared to others, compared to ourselves, and understanding that it is something necessary in order to grow. That is for sure a thing. But at the same time, it's important to do it in the right moments. Being always the one that pulls you down and not that pushes you up, in my view, breaks that dignity that one wants to follow. Because there needs to be respect. There needs to be an acceptance first, but at the same time, you have to be able to say that every action and every choice that you make is in line with what you believe in. It's not easy, and maybe, achieving it as a whole, it takes a whole lifetime. But as I said before, trying to do it bit by bit every day, it's what in the end, will decide how you will look back and, consider if you did or did not a good job. So that was all for today. As I promised, a bit of a more inspirational video. And I really encourage you to look back and if not already doing it, try to do that, because there's only positives in it, and you for sure will be happy with the results. So thank you very much for listening. As always, if you ended up liking this episode, leaving a like and a subscribe really help, as I always say. And let me know in the comments whatever opinion you might have about what I just exposed. And as usual, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and see you tomorrow.